Hey.
We are live. You seen that live button? We are live. We are live. We are live. We are going to get in here, get in here, get in here. We're going to open it up the way that Oyi opens it up, and he tells us to drop your city and your zodiac sign in the comment section. Wherever you're from, drop that and your zodiac sign, your sun sign. So I'm Team Leo from Miami. Oyi is Team Taurus from Atlanta. Right. So Team Taurus in the house, Team Leo Sun in the house as well. Drop your zodiac signs. We're gonna let some people roll on in here, roll in here. While you're rolling in here, if you haven't done so already, be sure to hit the subscribe button on the YouTube channel. Also, be sure to find Oyi's page and follow him on there as well. Oyi, if you can go ahead and drop your all your contact information in the comment section.
I just want everybody to just go to workwithoyi.com and just send me a message. You know what I'm saying? You can go follow me on Instagram, OYI517. I love that, but I would like the personal touch. You can be on my email. And since we're talking about money and magic, I got a Black Friday offer and a Cyber Monday offer that's going to the people who I got their emails and phone numbers. So if you send me a message and be like, add me to the list, that'll be a lot easier because I got them benefits for everybody. Hey. What up, Cincinnati? Cancer in the building. Team Capricorn in Miami. Flint, Michigan. Libra. What up, Sag? Team Colorado. Jews in the building. Baltimore. You got a whole plethora out here. Oni is in the building. Got some human design masters out here. So, it's a whole bunch of fire going on.
Yes, yes, yes. I love it. All right, so let's get into it. Let's get right into it. I don't know how to formally introduce you, so I'm gonna introduce you from my heart. Is that cool?
Yes, please. Let me see what you're working with.
So Oyi is one of my favorite people. Like I'm busting heads by Oyi. Let me just off top. Let me let that be known. So Oyi is one of my absolute favorite people. I met, and I'm air quoting, because we have not met yet in the physical, in the flesh yet, right? So, although it feels like it don't feel like it's only been an energetic meeting, but it feels so genuine. Anyway, I met Oyi a few years ago, and I am a fan of Oyi. I am a student of Oyi. Oyi knows a lot about a lot of things. Sometimes people say a little bit about a lot of things. He knows a lot about a lot of things. One of the things that I love about Oyi is he is a straight shooter and he is very knowledgeable. So oftentimes when you find people that are knowledgeable, they'll speak over your heads. They'll have ulterior motives and they'll try to just make it seem like more than it is. Oyi is not that way. He knows a lot about a lot of things and he is going to break it down from high level more than it is. Who in there listening? So I like to say Oyi takes it from high level to eye level and it's powerful. It's very, very powerful. It's not a lot of fluff. So we're going to get into all, different types of things that Oyi is an expert at. Just know that you're in for a treat. If you don't have a pen and paper, make sure you grab a pen and paper now. One thing that is actual and factual about Oyi is every single time I speak to this man, every time we text, we communicate, every time we are exchanging energy, my mind is going like this. I'm learning, I'm ordering books, I'm looking up websites. It's an expansion. OE is an expander. So if you want to elevate and expand, you are definitely in the right space. And without further ado, Mr. OE.
That was easy.
Easy. How did I do?
That was easy. That was really
That
easy.
was easy.
That was really easy. Thank you. Yeah, it's a lot of pressure on your boy right here. So let's get the party started.
You can handle it. All right. So let's talk about money and inner magic. So I want to set the tone, set the room, and let everybody know that we are talking about personal finance. And I want you to write down personal finance because a lot of times people hear money and they hear finance and they start tending into everybody else's business and leaving theirs alone. So I want you to take some ownership. We are talking about your personal finances tonight. So when we talk about money and inner magic, no, we didn't just say magic. We're talking inner magic. It's personal to you. And so I want to lead the conversation. But for those of you who don't know, let me go back, rewind. So by trade, I am a licensed stockbroker. I am a registered investment advisor representative. I am an annuity and insurance broker as well. I have been in the business for over 20 years. The name of our family firm is the Henderson Financial Group. It has been around for 30 years. It was started by my father, who is a certified financial planner 30 plus years ago, and I've been there for 20 years. So I'm not one of these people who are just talking out the sides of their neck or whatever. They watched a few YouTube videos and now they're a financial expert. I literally eat, sleep, and breathe this all day, every day, and literally twice on Sundays because I'm a Sundays. Okay. So now that we set the tone, right? Because there's a lot of noise, there's a lot of chatter out there when it comes to money, thanks to the season that we're in, the space that we're in, where stuff is at the tips of our fingers. Personal finance. We're talking about you. We're not talking about what the economy is doing. We're not talking about what the war is doing. We're not talking about who's in office, who they done elected. We're not talking about any of that. We're talking about personal finance. So when you set the tone and understand that we're talking about personal finance, what that should give you is ownership. So I want everyone in the chat to drop the word ownership in the comment section. Just ownership. Just drop ownership in the comment section, because we're no longer putting our problems, our issues, we're no longer deflecting and deferring to anybody else. It's ownership. It's me. It's personal finance. So
can I put hashtag accountability in there too?
Yes, hashtag accountability. So personal finance, your relationship with money, your results as it relates to your personal finance are going to largely depend on your experiences. And most people make present decisions based on past experiences unknowingly. And then they wonder why their future seems far off, because you are in the present making decisions based on past experiences. So when we talk about personal finance, first you got to look at yourself. Here comes the inner magic. So we can talk about astrology, we can talk about gene keys, we can talk about human design, we can talk about all this stuff, but I want Oyi to come in now and give us that heat, because now that we understand that personal finance is about self, personal finance is about ownership, personal finance is about my past experiences and my present decisions. Now let's talk about some astrology. And you don't have to believe in astrology. Astrology believes in you. Let's talk about some astrology, because if you don't understand the inner magic, if you don't understand astrology because you don't believe in that and they told you it was devil worship and if you don't understand that, then when things are happening, when you experience things, you don't know why you experience them, how you're supposed to relate to them, because you don't even know yourself, because you don't know what an astrology chart is. Okay, Oyi, I'm done. I said I was gonna be calm today too. I had a talk with myself. I was like, girl, leave that fight. Don't just let Oyi and look at this. I'm listening.
Well, I love the fire. You know what I'm saying? That's how, and we coming off all that Scorpio energy, moving on into Sag. So, you know, I don't have a real problem with that. But you touched on something that I have to speak on. The interview with Mike Tyson and Sat Guru. Did you see that? So it seems like you did, because you just quoted it. Sat Guru said that in society, we have a problem with taking bad memories, putting it with a really hyper imagination, and misinterpreting that for intelligence. So we can say, well, I didn't get in at Bitcoin when it was 1,000. So that's my bad memory. I feel bad at it. Now my imagination is it'll never be low enough for me to get in ever. And then I'm gonna go around and tell people like I'm intelligent, hey, you know, I intelligently can't get into crypto. That's why I call that crypto comedy. You know what I'm saying? Or black people in crypto is crypto comedy, right? So we have to stop taking past experiences when we want new results and start classifying them as, well, it happened that one time, it didn't. I did not know astrology. The first 32 years of my life, I didn't know anything about astrology, the signs, anything like that, how important they were. I knew about planets, but I knew I was a quote unquote a Taurus, but I didn't know nothing like how it related to my personal life. And then up under personal is the inner magic. So personal is what I show you, but personal rests on top of my magic. So if my magic is all discombobulated and I'm not clear on what magical abilities I have, when I show you something personally, it's going to look what we call janky. I'm from the South. So we don't want janky. And then that's going to, and right after personal is money, personal finances, personal responsibility, personal accountability. But if your personal imagination doesn't have any good memories to draw off of, or doesn't know where like the good touch points are. Oh, I'm really good at this. I didn't even know that. Oh, I thought about this forever, but I didn't know that I had this talent just laying here. This is where I'm always talking about people's purpose. You have to find the purpose, restore the purpose, and then follow the purpose. This is how you get to the money. I be getting to the money. Hey, everybody.
I hope y'all wrote that down. I'm going to type it in the comments. Find the purpose, restore the purpose,
and then follow the purpose.
Follow the purpose.
Now, the first one isn't that hard if you have astrology. It's not that hard. We can find your purpose by looking at your incarnation objective in your human design. We can look at your north node. But then the second part is restoring it. So I want everybody to think about your purpose as a antique Corvette, 1969, 1970. You like those hot rod cars?
Yeah, they
Which
cute.
one? Oh, well, as an investment, you know, something that came off the showroom floor for $9,000, now you can sell it for $90,000. You know, so it ain't, you know. So anyway, your purpose is just like that. You know, it came out when you were born, and it was already a classic. But then you parked it under a tree, and then rain fell on it, and it began to rust, and the tires began to rot, and you weren't driving your purpose or your Corvette. You weren't doing any of that. And then the bird started doo-dooing on it. You know what I'm saying? It's up under a tree, or it's out in a barn, and it's out in the elements of nature. And this also shows that you didn't love your car. Because if you loved your car, all of y'all that do have cars that you love, you be waxing it, be putting the cover on it, you be backing it out, and you be putting all the nice things, and then don't be putting stuff on my floor. Well, what about if you didn't love your car like that? Then when you found your car, now you got to restore it. So you go find these cars, and they just be all whooped down and tore up. And now you got to put the biggest investment into restoring the whip. Then after you restore it, then you can ride in it. But the larger period is restoring it. That's kind of where I'm at with inner magic. Inner magic restores your purpose. Okay? Inner magic restores your purpose. You can write that one down. Astrology.
I hope y'all understand that we're not really talking about cars, right? He painted a beautiful visual, a beautiful picture for those of you who need visual images in order to learn. He said that your car was already a classic. He's talking about you, baby. You were already a classic. When he talked about the rain and the poop, he's talking about the experiences, the conditioning, the people, the words, all this. That's what he's talking about. So now since we've experienced that, we have got to do the work of restoring that car. We don't get to just sit there and say, it's rained on, they don't shit it on me. Now this is how I am. Right? See, and I don't, you got me cussing in front of you, Oyi. You know, I usually refrain from that in the presence of royalty and honor.
It's okay. Okay, give it to him. Give it to him.
You got to understand that. Like, I don't want y'all to miss that, because a lot of times we have this woe is me attitude, right? So we have they've been pooping on me all my life, so they're going to be pooping on me forever. No, you get to move the car. You get to say, you know what, I don't want to be up under this tree no more. You get to say, you know what, I know they got some little special paint or a special solution where I can refinish this, I can restore this, and all that poop, I don't even have to talk about that poop no more. We won't even have to talk about that. Oyi has a beautiful quote or comment that you make when you talk about people always regurgitating their past experiences in the present. They're always regurgitating and complaining. And so when you talk about personal finance, that's why I said before we start this, we talking about you. Personal finance. So now that you understand your automobile and what it's been through, okay, we've been there, done that. How are you going to restore your personal finances?
The first thing you have to do is you have to understand what is finances. So I just like to go back to money, because you'll never understand finances if you don't understand money. And money is a sophisticated woman. If you don't know how to treat her, she will leave you. I repeat, money is like a sophisticated woman. If you don't know how to treat her, she will leave you. Now, you immediately are supposed to go read, what's my joint? Dollars Want Me. This is the way you start changing your mind for free. You can listen to it for 45 minutes, or you can sit down and read it for an hour and a half. But Dollars Want Me explains to us. It's also a book written before 1940. Read everything you can about money before 1940. They was giving up the Gizzy game, right? All these books that you're reading now after 1940 about money are rewrites to books before 1940. So Dollars Want Me explains that dollars, this woman wants you to assign her to some beautiful work. When Michelle Obama got into the White House, she wanted to start beautifying things and like really, representing and showing how her family really was and going out there. And when she went out there, then people did what? They wanted to come back and get with the Obamas some more. So I like to talk to my money. You know what I'm saying? Hey, 50s, 20s, 100s, go out there, be of service to somebody and tell everybody how much of a good master I am, and then bring them all back. You don't even have to bring them back. Just tell them what a good master I am and how happy you are. And then you release that money out there into circulation. Certain words you have to stop using around finances. We don't spend, we circulate, because money never leaves the market. Money never leaves the market. You didn't lose no money on the market. Somebody was just smarter than you. That's why big shouts out to my man Daniel over at Hyacinth. Can't shout him out, but I can shout him out over at Traders Club Worldwide, Snipers Club down here in ATL. Them boys getting big money in this recession, because the rule is smart money take dumb money. So your financial literacy is different than your financial maturity. The person who is financially mature and financially literate will always take money from the person who's only financially literate. If you ain't even financially literate, I can just move my hand down here. This person is just always going to take the money, because this person knows how to treat money. This is like the NBA basketball player, and money is like, I want to go with the best experience. So I'm going to go with the person who's literate and mature and got a plan and got something for me to do and knows Hyacinth. And we done already double checked everything. Like when a woman is saying, I want to be secure, I want to be safe. You get all that by being financially mature. Now, your financial maturity can't be no higher than your emotional maturity. Bop, boopity bop, 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 bop. Your financial maturity is going to be shown by the way how you are in your emotional maturity. When I jumped into the markets, Hyacinth, I used to sell drugs. And they was like, open a paper account. And I was like, I don't want no paper money. I don't want no fake account. I'm getting ready to get in here with some real money. They was like, don't do that. I was like, I understand peaks and valleys, man. I'm ready to play, man. Let's go. 2 weeks, I'm ready to go. Then I messed around, and the first thing I did was made some money. Terrible. Because now I got this thing, like I try to tell y'all, I know what I was. Hey, what happened? Wait. Didn't even know how to get out of a trade. So all of my emotional stuff just started coming to the surface when it got around me not knowing how to treat this sophisticated woman. I learned so much more about myself in trading. I just want to let you know. But then I had to know what was the way I turned my financial maturity around was being honest with myself and realizing that I had a gambler personality as a trader. As a trader, everybody has a personality. Some people are shrewd, some people are risky, some people are this. I was a freaking gambler. Okay. I like to win hard, but boy, when I lose, I couldn't brush my teeth in the morning because they were just dummy in the mirror that I couldn't stand to look at. So I could tell that my maturity level was low. So then I had to be like, okay, what season am I in? Where's the moon at? Where's the sun at? Am I supposed to even be doing this right now? Is this a good ideal? How do I, and then once again, the age old question, how do I feel about money? So now I got all these bad memories about money. My daddy didn't have money. My mother divorced my father, and we had a dysfunctional family over money. Money is this hard. It doesn't grow on trees, and all of that. Now the inner magic comes in. I need to deprogram that because I have Saturn conjunct Mercury in Taurus. So whatever I think about money, that's what I think about money. You're not changing that, right? So it was harder for me to change around. But now that it has changed, I'm never going back because of the same Saturn. So I took something that looked like an obstacle and then turned it and made it into a play. It's a play for me. So like if I'm looking at somebody's chart, I want to know what is their philosophy? Where's Jupiter at? Do we got the right rising sign? Who's your ideal client? It's cool that you talk to someone where you can route your money, but if you ain't really got no customers that are hunting you down with a credit card talking about take my money, what are you routing? And then here's the other thing too. When your imagination is tied to your bank account, honey, please don't do that. Okay? You're building something, not Hyacinth, but I'm talking to all the honeys out there and the handsomes out there. Honey, handsome, whoever you are, do not let your imagination get attached to the number of zeros in your bank account. That's from a very high level master because now your visualization is going to be limited in what you want or what's possible in your restoration process. Because all of us came in here with billions of dollars, but we haven't tapped into it. So your inner worth, your cosmic currency is just flowing, 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 but you got an attitude and your head is down, so you can't see up. You gotta like hold your head up and be like, oh, there it is. Let me like stick my fingers in it. That's really all you have to do. But most of the time we think it's so hard. And that's another thing. We have the incorrect words associated with wealth. So hard work and wealth don't go together. There's nobody who's wealthy because of hard work. Okay, they did not work. They did not get wealthy by working really hard. They're very smart, intelligent, got leadership skills, know when to say no, know when to fall back, know when to go forward, even in the face of fear, right? So the only hard work is the work on yourself. That's the hardest work, which is why we go and say, body your chart. That's your foundation, body your chart. Memorize what your purpose is. Memorize where's your money at. Memorize who's the person that really wants to spend some money with you all the time. How is it? What you say your sun sign is?
Leo.
And what's your rising sign?
Capricorn.
So we already know that.
No. Yes, Capricorn.
So we already know that Sagittarius is, Aquarius is, and and Capricorns. Yeah, those are her avatars, right? When you're going into marketing, these are the people who want to just keep throwing money into my pocket. But if you turn your back on them and you don't pay attention to them, you don't cater to them, they go to somebody else who's catering to them. So knowing you can let you know who wants to pour into you. I hope that makes sense.
It makes a lot of sense. You touched on a lot of things. I want to go back a little bit. So I know that there are people who are asking, because a lot of you all may know you have bodied your chart or you're studying your chart. But then I know that there are some newbies on here who are like, okay, this sounds interesting. I don't know my rising sign. I don't know my moon. I don't know what my chart is. How can I learn? So my first question to you is the Inner Magic Academy still accepting new members?
100%. 100%. That's what I just said. Like, if they give me their email address and their phone number, they'll get this Black Friday special where they can get 60% off.
Trust me.
Because it is $1,100, and I would like to explain why is it $1,100.
Wait. You know I don't like you explaining yourself. Oh. It's $1,100. Full stop. That's it. It's $1,100. The next comment is you can go to workwithoyi.com, sign up so that you can get the Black Friday special, maybe a Cyber Monday special, but it's $1,100. That's it. We good? All right.
I was gonna tell them what they get, but I guess never mind.
You can tell them what they get, but we're not selling. The value is there. If they hear, they understand the value. It should be a feeling thing. Don't even tell them what they get. It's a feeling thing. We're going by feeling. If you don't feel this energy, if you don't feel that your $1,100 is going to be a good investment by working with Oyi, we ain't got to explain it to you. That's not what we're doing today. We're not doing it. So it's $1,100, period. Moving on. So the next thing that easy, right? You made that so easy. So the next thing that I wanted to ask you about is, what would you say a person's number one investment is? What is the number one thing people need to invest in?
Today, right? What's the number one investment they need to make today?
And every day, like the best investment.
I know. I got it because you got me all on the spot. I didn't even send that question. What is the number one thing they need to invest in right now is a nice meditation pillow, or invest in the number one thing you should invest in right now is a teacher, a qualified teacher who got some stripes. That is the number one thing a person should invest in, because and that is an investment into a teacher is an investment into self.
Absolutely.
An investment into a teacher, and support the teacher. What you're doing is you're not buying nothing from me. You're supporting me so I can keep delivering. So it's so important to not get out here. I'm going to just say, go get your Bibles and turn to Proverbs 3:5. Lean not on your own understanding. That's why I go into, you need a teacher. You know what I mean? Like, this YouTube University is good if you want to look up something small. If you want to be like, what is Venus and Virgo mean? Go to YouTube University. You know what I'm saying? But how do you find out? Do I have Venus in this, that, or the other? How do I make money off of it? You're going to need a teacher. Invest in a teacher. And now I'm going to go even harder. Invest in a teacher that meditates. Because, so get you a teacher and get you a meditation cushion.
So the answers, both of his answers ultimately lead to investing in self. Investing in that meditation cushion is an investment in yourself. Investing in teacher or a mentor or coach is an investment in yourself. And I want everyone to write this down and drop it in the comment section. The number one investment that you can ever make today, tomorrow, next year, it doesn't matter if money is raining, whoever we have in office, it doesn't matter, whatever the case may be, the number one investment you should always make is an investment in yourself. When you invest in yourself, everything else becomes irrelevant. Remember, we talked about this. We said this is personal finance. Their problems, not your problems. Their bank account ain't your bank account. Their stock account ain't your stock account. So why are you worried about them? Why are you worried about what they're saying? In my private group, we are reading Think and Grow Rich right now. Think and Grow Rich was written in the 1930s. They're talking about, oh my gosh, and there has never been a time like this, such dire times and all this. And I'm like, well, look at here. We're in 2022. And again, such dire times.
23. We're already in next year.
And I want you to talk about that. I want you to go through that. First of all, we can be here all night because Oyi is he has so much to share. I just love it. I like pull up got my legs crossed and I'll be ready. I'm like, okay, let's get it. So, invest in yourself. I want you to take that to your forehead. When Oyi says invest in a meditation pillow, when Oyi says that you need to invest in a teacher and in a coach and things like that, this mostly is not what people want to hear. I'm not telling you what I think. I'm telling you what I know. People want me to tell them what's the number one stock pick. People want me to tell them where they can put money today. But listen,
I'm the number one stock pick. Like if I was to ask you that, you better tell me Oyi.
Oyi, right.
Stock pick, right.
You were the number one stock pick.
Right.
I'm so glad that you shared your experience with trading, because trading will humble you real quick. And so while people are asking what the number one stock pick is, and believing all the stuff that they see outside of them, when it actually happens to you, it's like you can be prepared for the hit, but it actually getting hit is totally different things. So when I steer you away from that and ask you to look into yourself and ask you to start investing in yourself and learning yourself, and let's peel back some of these layers. Let's find out why you process this way. Let's find out where your emotional intelligence needs some help. Let's find out where your spending habits, where they come from. Let's find out what sob stories you're carrying on into the present and then hindering your future. Let's find out why that's happening. So work with Oyi.com so that you can sign up for the Inner Magic class. It's a lot. It is a lot. If you don't want to do the study, this is not the place for you, because his throat chakra is all the way open. Let me tell you, when I come to class, I'll be on mute laughing because his throat chakra is open. This is open. Ain't no blockages there. So you're going to need to do the work. I'm not joking. I'm serious, right? So, all right. So let's talk into, so you, where do I want to go? A few things I want to talk about. I want to talk about the new year and the seasons.
And getting pregnant.
Yes, let's do it.
So
get your pens ready, y'all. You should be on your third sheet of paper by now. You should be, and like Oyi says, we don't just have one color pen. We have different colors because we need to highlight, we need to circle, we need to underline, we need to double cross, we need to do all these things. So we don't just have one pencil. You need to have multiple writing utensils for this information that you're getting for the low price of FREE. Like, you really got to have multiple writing utensils. And you should be on at least page number 3. If not, you got to catch up. Run the tape back and catch up. All right, so let's do it.
So there's a woman, and she's in her early 30s, and she wants to get pregnant, and it's a dream of hers, and she's married to this truck driver, and the truck driver is always driving around because he's like, I gotta get money, but he doing $200,000 or $300,000 a year driving this truck, but he's always on the road, right? So she says, babe, I want to have a baby. He says, okay, we're gonna have a baby. Now, we know the number one thing for her to have a baby is he must be home when she's ovulating, okay? And she's not ovulating for 30 days, right? So he keeps coming home when she's not ovulating. Of course, they have sex, but no baby comes. That's financial immaturity, because he wants the right thing, but he's not doing it at the right time. So inner magic is also about timing, your circadian rhythm, when you go to bed, when you get up, what cycles of sleep that you go through. How many people, you don't even remember your last 2 dreams. You probably dream anywhere from 15 to like 20 times different dreams at night, but you don't remember them all. But you have to be at the right time in order to be where you're supposed to be, just like handing off the baton. So January 1st is not the beginning of the year. September 22nd, when Libra starts, the fall equinox starts the new year. Why? Because the baby's going to be here in 9 months, which will be July. Because a baby is coming, and a baby is your ideal, the thing you want to manifest, the dream you're chasing, whatever. You have to set steps up in order for that thing to happen. What's that? The breathing that they do before the Le Mans class that they have. You should go to Le Mans class when you get pregnant. You don't have to, but it is really smart. You should have your doula and your all these other people already like, we have a due date, because when you get pregnant, you say there's a due date. It's in 9 months. So 9 months from September is going to give you June. So what do you want? How many dollars? What's the thing that you want to achieve when June 23rd, 2023 comes here? So when I say it Hyacinth, we in 2023, it's because in the Inner Magic Academy, soon as September 22nd gets here, we move into, I'm in next year. I'm in next year. Where my mindset is at, 2023. So now when December 31st comes and somebody's talking about Happy New Year, I'm getting ready to do this. I'm getting ready to set up my goals for next year. What you've done is given me and Hyacinth and all the other Jedis at Inner Magic Academy a 100-day start. Okay. Now I got some 9-year-olds. I got a 10, 11, and a 14-year-old in the class, and you can't spot them 100 days. Okay. So much less a grown person who's aggressive and staying on their own and things like that. So that first phase is then, and there's 8 phases. We're now in the second phase called the planting phase, which is why I say getting pregnant. You must get pregnant with the ideal of where you want to be July 4th, 2023. Don't keep thinking about, well, what I'm gonna do about December. What I'm gonna do about January. What's my behavior? There's 8 different behaviors. If you don't have a teacher who can show you the 8 behaviors, then you'll be all nervous. I don't even look at it. It's not tax season, it's the gathering phase. Most people are like, oh, it's the tax season. It's the gathering phase. I got all this money now. Look what. That's the preview to the movie. Don't you? There's a preview to the movie. Then there's the movie. Your little taxes that you got back in February, if you are wise and financially mature and got you the right people around you, and you're not the smartest person in the room, then that is the fertilizer that's going to make it even exponentially crazy when June and July comes. This is just basic science because you need energy from the sun. I don't care. You don't have to believe in astrology, but I bet you believe in that sun. You go 6 days without it, you get nothing, not even another breath, because there's a contract you have with trees that operates off of the sunlight. So if they don't have sunlight, then you're out of here. And you have to breathe in order for your soul to exist on this plane. So you have to know to do things in order. I just started getting excited. I got off track. What was I
You
going?
on track. You on track. You right on track. Yeah. You can never be off track. Don't do that.
And so now let's get pregnant with this large ideal. So there's the 28 day. There's 8 cycles. There's 8 cycles in a day, 8 cycles in a month, 8 cycles in a year. Each cycle represents a behavior. If you know the behaviors, the outcome is assured.
That's right.
It's almost called like, this is really high level, but basic reverse engineering. What is it that I want? When do I want it? Let me run the steps backwards to today. Now I know what I'm supposed to be doing. Ta-da! So I'm in the planting phase of the year, and I know I'm in the planting phase of this month. So tonight I'm gonna watch a movie that's about where I want to be in June or July of next year, which is going to be another country. So I'll probably watch something Hyacinth like Rich Crazy Asians. Have you seen that? Mm-hmm. Oh, well, as a person around money, if you want to see some money in a movie, 2 things everybody should be watching on this call is Billions. Regularly, you should binge on Billions because your imagination doesn't have enough zeros because you don't know what's possible. And then the other one is you need to be watching Rich Crazy Asians or Crazy Rich Asians. Just watch that about once a month. That's all you need of that right there. You know what I'm saying? Because this thing here, even though I call it a big forehead, this is really my screen projector. So if I close my eyes and I say, Hyacinth tells me a word and she says something, say an object.
Glass.
So now I have glass. I'm looking at stained glass. I'm looking at in a church. I'm looking at in a Corvette. It's got tint on it. All these different types of glass are now, my eyes are closed and they're playing across the screen. You're in charge of that. You're in charge of that. And you could be susceptible if you don't know that you're supposed to be in charge of that. Somebody will come to you and say, broke, poor, hard work, suffer, the devil, all type of stuff. Even Ashanti was like, I don't want to hear about that. So you have to guard what you're projecting across here, because whatever you see here, your cells now are going to start attuning to it. so they can attract it to you and say, I want this similar experience that's running through my cells. I'd like to experience this here. So for some of y'all say, I don't watch TV, start watching some movies. Okay, I don't watch Marvel comics. You should watch all of Marvel comics. Now cut your TV off when you're going to bed. No horror movies. Stop watching the news. Just watch this. Just watch this YouTube channel right here. This is all you need. Just watch this YouTube channel right here. Hyacinth tell you where the money reside. What else? She got guests like me. She got all the stuff. She got her daddy. Come on, man. Come on. He on the same page. You know, it's rare that you find a daughter and a daddy on the same page, especially about some paper. So y'all are really blessed. Focus, because now what I'm planting, that's what's going to happen in July. And where do I want to be in July? I've already been focused on that since September the 22nd. When January 1st comes around, I'm going to just be like, that's nice. You know, that's cool, but I ain't getting ready to get excited. We already moving along because I'm going to be in another cycle. And this goes back to the woman when she wants to get pregnant. She has to know her cycle, not when her menstrual cycle begins. She has to know all of her cycles. This is the cycle before my menses. This is the cycle of my menses. This is the cycle after my menses. This is the cycle from I'm feeling great and all the way until that other cycle. You have to know when the cycle starts and when the cycle begins. This is the format of predictive astrology. All of us can do predictive astrology. When people come to me, they want to know when and how much, where the money at, and when am I going to get to it, or where is the love of my life, or something like that. But this is the time right now, all the way up until December the 21st, where whatever you're planting, meditation and a movie, the goals that you're writing down, the activity that you're participating in, the foolish arguments that you're in, the dumb, non-contributing relationships that you're in, they're going to determine how your summer of 2023 looks. Mine looks ridiculously grandiose. I mean, it's on some castle type stuff. Like, it's like, let's just keep going between Bali and Ethiopia and Dubai. You see what I'm saying? So, but it takes a while though. You can't just jump to that too, because you got to be honest with yourself. That's why you got to have a teacher who's honest with themselves. Because when you get checked, you have to be able to be checked by somebody who's just being honest. I'm just telling you what I saw. I'm not trying to insult you. This is structural, not personal, right? Yeah, that's the planting phase right now. And then we clear after you plant. So remember, you got to plan, then you plant it, then you have to clear away all the things that are stopping the plan from happening. And these things take 45 days. Did you even know using a 45-day cycle? Everybody type 45-day cycle. Just type it. Just to entertain me. Type 45-day cycle. So at least you'll be like, oh, that's a note I need to look at. Where are these 45-day cycles? I have this in a free video that I made in 2013. It's the same video, Hyacinth, and it's in my bio in my Instagram. So if you're following me on Instagram, go to the bio and it says Oyi Sun explains the 8 cycles. Easy. That's $1 million. That's $1 million years worth of game, not $1 million worth of game, because you could blow through $1 million. You can't blow through 1 million years of wisdom.
That's right. That was deep. That was deep. So I want everybody to understand that what Oyi is teaching us today, what he's teaching us, the method is simple. It used to be called Keep It Simple Astrology, right? So the method is very simple. The hardest part is going to be you. The hardest part is you peeling back those layers. The hardest part, I love that you talked about language and the language that we are around and the things that we allow people to say to us. Don't forget the language that you use and you say about yourself. How many times do you use the word I can't or I'm trying? I tell my students all the time, these need to be out of your vocabulary. Either you're doing it or you're not. Ain't no trying. Which one is it? You have to pick a side, because when you say that you're trying, you're leaving the back door open. Like, all right, I can slide out because I said I was going to try, and if it didn't work, no, I'm going to do it. So think about the language that you use for yourself. Think about the language that you project onto others, because it's not always people projecting onto you. It's you projecting onto others. And when you start to change your language, then you'll stop being around people who project on you. That's why, you mentioned relationships. You have to be ferociously passionate about curating the relationships and the people who are in your life. Forget what people said and you don't do that and all this stuff. You have to look around and see where you are, where you want to go, and who are around you. And if you're with the same people that you've been with for the past 5, 10, 15, 20 years and you aren't going anywhere, you're missing out on all these cycles. You're not really, you're trying to have the baby at the wrong time. You just screwing to be screwing and not understanding why you ain't get pregnant yet. And now you mad at him. You like, you need to go to the doctor and take these tests and do all this, but you don't even know your cycle. You don't even know where you are in the cycle. So when you think about this, the most difficult, the most, I don't even want to say difficult, the most intentional place is for you to learn yourself. That's the most, and that's where all your attention and intention need to be. And once you spend some time, invest some time learning yourself, being intentional and investing attention, then the rest of this stuff is going to hit like clockwork.
Are there any people following you on this channel who trade?
Oh, I don't know.
If you
trade, drop a 1 in the comment section.
Yes. If you trade anything, if you even are an investor, then, because I'm investors, if you buy stocks or if you trade stocks, they're not the same. That could be a whole class, okay? And you're on TradingView, I want you to go look up the moon indicator and ask yourself, what in the hell is this billion-dollar platform? If you don't know what TradingView is, you ain't really serious about your money. I'm sorry, because I wasn't. Just keeping it 1,000. If you don't know what you're looking at, that's okay, because you don't have a teacher. Okay. But if you know what you're looking at, go look at the indicator, the moon indicator. Now, before you like be like this, you have to ask yourself, why in the world would they put the moon on there? Hyacinth, these people are so shrewd. They have so much money. They have so much technology. Do you know how much like it costs to keep software running that can keep up with Bitcoin and Ethereum and ICE and all this other stuff and the NASDAQ? And for some reason, the moon is got an indicator on the charts. Now, if Gamble's looking, he's like, boy, don't you give them that. I'm just talking about it because you still have to know how to use it. But what in the world are they doing with the moon on there so you can look and see where a candle is at on a full moon or a new moon?
I'm going to give y'all one free one. I usually don't share my books. I'm going to give you one free one. One free one. This is one. I ain't even going to charge you for this.
Oh, I don't even have that. You ain't even told me about this. I'm salty. I'm salty.
I'm telling you now. I'm going to give you one free one. But no, I wanted to point that out because, again, we know that there are some people who I don't believe in astrology and this and this and this. And I love that you brought the point about TradingView having the moon as an indicator right there. Like, listen, y'all think just because we don't talk about it, like I said, I'm like,
for free, not even having no account, just for free.
We're not out here being regular human beings. Ain't no nah. We're not out here on a struggle bus, just being, I'm just being a regular human. It just that, and we don't want you to be that either. So that's why we're having this conversation. Everything that you're hearing, I hope that you're writing it down, and I hope that you also run the tape back. That's one of my favorite things to say. Run the tape back. Invest in yourself. Running the tape back, meaning watching this again, is an investment in yourself. We told you the number one investment that you could ever make is in yourself. So now you got to make some decisions, right? Am I going to invest in this? Am I going to keep, allowing my past experiences to program my future? Am I going to allow people from my past to tell me where I can go and where I can't go? Or am I going to invest in myself and make a new decision? Am I going to take new action? Am I going to say, dang, I never even knew there was a thing called financial astrology. I never even knew the moon cycles, how they affect. We study that. Now, if any of my students in here, y'all understand why I have y'all studying the moon cycles, why we understand what's going on with that. Because you can't be out here. If you want above average results, you cannot do what average people do. And here's a news flash. 98% of people are average. 98% of people are average. 98%. I'm gonna give you one more. I said I was gonna give you one. And this is just a collection. Can you see it?
The Prosperity Bible.
It's just a collection. It's all you got: Napoleon Hill, Ben Franklin, James Allen, Wallace D. Wattles, Ernest Holmes, Florence Shen. It's baby. We not being regular humans. We're not doing that. All right. So let's, Coach. I know you're not speechless. Like,
Shit.
I know you're not speechless.
Why not? Why
How
not?
long we going? We've been on here for 54 minutes. We just gonna give them a little taste.
I ain't even really. I thought this was the warm up. I thought we were stretching.
The pregame. All right, the pregame.
Yeah. Communication, and I mean, because we have to get to. We have to get to. I'm passionate about cryptocurrency and blockchain. I want to talk to it. If there's some black people here that's interested, if you interested in crypto, everybody, please, on a scale of 1 to 10, put your crypto number. So, like, if you have some crypto, that means you're at least a 4. All right. If you ain't got none and you ain't interested, you're below 4. And then if you move it around and trade, then you know where your numbers is at. So on a scale of 1 to 10, let me just see in the chat real quick who's present in the crypto space, right? And if you're interested, you could still put like a 7 because that means you don't even have none, but you're highly interested. I do call that black folks comedy, is how black people look at cryptocurrency.
And be where you are. Don't be shamed. Be exactly where you are, because where you are today can change tomorrow. That's the intention of this, right? So if you're a 0 because you don't know, you don't invest, you don't listen to what your mama who ain't got no crypto, don't know how to spell crypto, you don't listen to what they told you, you may be a negative, right? And that's okay. But after you listen to this, the goal is for it to pique your interest so that you can move up. You can move up. You can move from a 0 to a 1 to a 10.
I was in the post office today and I try to mind my business, but the brother had his PO box that got shut down. And he was stressed out over it. I mean, he was just stressed out. And okay, you're 2 months late on paying your bill. Now you gotta pay. You can keep the same box. You gotta pay $25, but he didn't have 2 forms of ID. Then he didn't have an email to put on there. And the guy behind the counter says it would be much easier if you like had your email in here. And he was just so sad. And he was like, dog, I still get my check in the mail. He said, I'm a dumb construction worker. And me as a black man, listen to another black man in Atlanta say this. What he was saying was, I don't know about cryptocurrency. I don't know about blockchain. My finances is attached to the left side of money. I'm an employee. If I don't work, I don't eat. And my heart just went out to him. Yeah, I didn't say nothing to him because he was too emotional over just not having his access to his box. You know what I'm saying? But when he started saying, I don't have an email, I'm so old school, it was almost like he was bragging about his trauma. And we have to stop that. We have to stop that. These banks out here, they have a 10 on crypto, an 11, a 12, okay? And they want you to be scared. So everybody write this down, okay? Or type it in the thing or whatever. In cryptocurrency, you only lose when you sell because the market has to readjust. Don't panic. If you put those three things down right there, you'll be fine. If you panic, you're in trouble. If you sell, you're in trouble. And if you don't know what market adjustment is, you're in trouble. If you know that you're not going to sell and that the market is going to adjust and that you shouldn't panic, you'll be fine. Now, don't get out here and try nothing. I don't even care. Yeah, that was financial advice. I don't care because they can't say nothing to me about that.
I know. Let me say this real quickly. 2 things. I love that you talked about emotional intelligence a few moments ago, because when you talked about don't panic, it ties back into your emotional intelligence. And what I want to say is how you do one thing is how you do everything. So if you're emotional in trading, if you're emotional with crypto, you're emotional with your man, you're emotional with your friends, you have this low emotional IQ in all areas of your life. So understand that getting a handle on your emotional intelligence is very important, not only for your finances, but in every area of your life. At the Henderson Financial Group, when I have my first phone calls called a discovery call with clients, I'm listening to how they're reacting, how they're responding, what they're saying emotionally. I'm gauging where they're coming from emotion. I'm like, okay, I'm putting you over here, I'm putting you over there, based on the words that you're using, based on what you're saying, because you're showing me your emotional intelligence. So when it comes to trading and investments and things like that, you can't let your emotions run the show. And let me go further to say, and I'm going to turn the floor back over to you. So I believe in crypto. I believe in blockchain. It is not highly regulated at this point. And so because I am licensed for real, I can't be up here giving y'all advice and telling y'all things because I want to keep my license. And
you can say don't panic though.
I can say don't panic. And I will also say that if I did not believe that it should be a part of the conversation, then I would say, oh, let's not talk about that. So this it's not an endorsement, but I'm saying you want to educate yourself with everything. You want to educate yourself. And a lot of people have been asking me with the whole FTX thing, oh, what do you think is going to happen? You think it's the end of it? No, that we're just getting started. So pay attention to where Oyi is about to go with crypto. I'm trying to find this note that I had the last time. Oh, when we were in Clubhouse, you said keep your toxicity to yourself. Remember that when you talk about people in their past trauma?
Oh my God.
Intelligence is forgetting my past. Stop mistaking trauma for, and stop rehearsing my trauma story to others. When you said that, I was like, whoo, stop rehearsing my trauma story to others. So for those of you listening, and I wanted to find that in my folder, my whole work crib folder, I want you to take that to your forehead. Stop rehearsing your trauma to others and stop rehearsing your trauma to yourself. Because if you continuously rehearse your trauma, you're going to be in that traumatic loop. You ain't going to be able to hear what we talking about. You ain't going to be able to go forward. You're just on a hamster wheel of trauma. And you don't understand why. It's the reason why is because anybody who would listen, you talking about, let me tell you what happened. Let me tell you about my mama. Let me tell you about my daddy. Yo, you don't understand. Oh, what was me? You're rehearsing your trauma. Keep it to yourself. Like, we stop rehearsing that. And not even keep it to yourself. We're going to get to the point to where we release it and we let it go. So that then your ground will be fertile. So when we plant the seeds that we're planting tonight, you're not allowing your trauma to be concrete. That's Matthew. We're not planting seeds on concrete. We're planting seeds on fertile ground. So in order for your ground to be fertile, you got to get rid of that trauma. Okay, back to you. Black People's Comedy.
No, I'm going to go harder on what you just said. When you rehearse your trauma, everybody's mind, anything somebody says has to come from their mind. So when you plant trauma in other people's mind, when you're sharing your trauma, you're planting your trauma seeds in other people so later they can remind you. So that's why I said keep your trauma story to yourself, because when I'm sitting out here, I got trauma stories. I could turn this whole conversation into y'all be like, oh, we buying, no, we don't want to hear no more of that. But I keep it to myself. And I'm very selective, just like the media, on broadcasting my good. So now when I'm broadcasting my good, broadcasting my wins, guess what happens? I'm seeding Hyacinth's mind. I'm telling her, oh, I went to Jamaica, child. This initiation was off the chain. I'm about to be at a whole nother level. I ain't gonna tell about this big old gash of blood that I had to get to that came with it on the leg. And I could just focus on that, like, oh, you should have seen when I fell, my leg. All she want to hear about anyway is you going to the next level. I'm out.
Actually, I was gonna say to you, do you need some ginger, some turmeric? What's going on? I'm feeling a little something. But we'll talk about that later.
I need all that. Whatever you feeling, put it in 1576 mems. Put it in the envelope. What you mean? You ain't got to wait for no permission to be nice to me and send me some healing. Like, I'm gonna put it in some hot water, whatever it is. But yes, and the pace for this leg, 100%, because it's nice and athletic. It's one of the more athletic gashes too. But yeah, don't be sharing your trauma with folks. You know what I'm saying? Do as best you can to flush your toilet every day of these memories. They're not badges. They're nothing to brag about. Quit using the word I got it out the mud. You know what I'm saying? Now you're not allowed to use that word in Inner Magic Academy. The only thing you're allowed to say is I pulled it down from heaven. I called it down from heaven. I didn't even pull. I just called it down from heaven. Everybody type call down from heaven in the chat. Never say get it out the mud anymore. Just let it be some kind of blessing. Why you have to work so hard? Why you want to be a credit whore? Oh, I worked so hard. You should have saw me. You should have saw me. No, I shouldn't have saw you. I don't need to see you about nothing. You know what I'm saying? Zero the whole situation. So stop spreading your traumas. Try to get rid of them. And because they're already gone, your past is really not that important. And nobody cares. Okay? And money really don't want to hear it. Because whining and complaining keeps sophisticated women away from you. So when you're all raised, it's the one that's happy where that the pretty girl wants to come get on that team. So if you're a pretty girl, then you have to have a pretty attitude to get the pretty money to come over here. I hear so many people, even in astrology, Hyacinth, I bet you hear the same thing. I make a lot, but I don't know where it goes.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
What you talking about? Yeah, he go to receipts right here. I can't keep it though. Because you done talked it away from yourself. She don't want to stay with you. She came through. She really wanted to see and put you on to the game and sock it to your pocket. But you was talking crazy. She was just like, oh, low vibration alert.
Right.
Low vibration alert.
Talking nasty instead of talking nice. Like, talk nice to me. Don't talk nasty.
She do want you to talk nasty, but you can't even do that. You over here with the vanilla. You know what I'm saying? She do want you to get freaky, but you over here talking like vanilla with dirt in it. You know what I'm saying? Talking about this caramel. No, that's dirt. You done let some dirt. You done got some dirt up in your joint. Okay, so now you said the other thing you wanted me to talk about. Go to what? What was the alley?
What did I say? Oh, I do want to talk about, you put this cosmic wealth in a divine mind.
Oh man. So number one, everybody write down, nothing is hidden from the divine mind. Nothing is hidden from the divine mind. This Libra who I just ended a 10-year off and on relationship with, she gave me that jewel. So big shouts out to Queen Libra for that one. Nothing is hidden from the divine mind. And most of the time when we are going into, we want to move to the next level, the mind naturally resists. The earthly mind resists from moving to the next place. And then you start saying it's hard, it's hard, it's hard. But when you realize nothing is hidden from the divine mind, once I know I got a divine mind, the answer just starts to come. I can't find my wallet. I lose stuff around my house all the time. Then I just stop and say, nothing is hidden from the divine mind. 3 or 4 times, walk around, stop being stressed out. Nothing is hidden. My mind is divine. Do you even feel that you have a divine mind? Do you have some evidence that your mind is divine? Are you meditating and so you can experience it? Then in front of that is cosmic wealth. What's cosmic wealth? I got this one over relationships. I've been blessed. You know what I'm saying? I've been blessed. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I'm good looking. Yes, I honor my ancestors. I'm absolutely a boss, single, don't have no kids. And I attract women who take me out. Oh, they grab the check so fast. They pay for the food. It is so wonderful. I don't know what all these other conversations are on the internet. And most of them, they make way more money than me. So I just be like, because I'm out here. So since the women saying you don't need my money, I just be like, well, okay then. Okay, you got your own bag then. Let's go ahead, right? But the women that I'm talking to and attracting, they're on a really another level, right? High level. And so I asked my tantric teacher, I said, man, how do I keep on? These women, they ain't even coming asking me for no money. But he said, well, what are they? He said, what are you giving them? I said, I'm giving them my wisdom, my time, and my energy. He said, that's your cosmic wealth. He said, you're going to have women around you all the time because you have wisdom, time, and energy. Then you put the strategy and all the other stuff you got on there. That's your cosmic wealth. Whatever you're putting your energy to, are you complaining? That's your cosmic wealth. You'll be broke. Are you rejoicing and celebrating other people? Hyacinth went and put some nice lipstick on. I was just like, let me celebrate that. I'm celebrating anytime I get an opportunity because we are what? We are unashamed what? How is it? Opportunist. I'm looking for a good time to celebrate. I'm looking for a green candle. I'm looking for a wick that's running off. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking for a hyperbolic. And I'm celebrating crashes too, because I know how to short. Okay. So you just have to really understand the cosmic wealth and the divine mind. Nothing is hidden from you. Nothing is hidden from you. It's your dedication. It's your level of dedication and your level of commitment that opens doors. And also your level of humility too for some teachers. When you get to a certain high level, your money don't matter. And I don't want you to be for one of these true statements, but Hyacinth probably can explain to y'all if this goes over your head. Some people are so broke, all they got is money. I don't want to be one of those people where all I got is money. I'm talking about lots of it too. And I see it on the internet all the time. These people, these podcasters and all that, and they're getting all these big checks from YouTube, and they said they made $1 million on their podcast. They're empty inside. Their dating life sucks. They don't know who they are. Their purpose is raggedy. And they spend all their time in money conversations just so they can pretend that they're okay on the inside, which is the number one epidemic that we have, which is not COVID, is pretending that I'm okay. That's right. My finances are okay. My emotional intellect is okay. My spirituality is okay. You lying. You lying. It's not. So that's why when she keep talking about bring it to your forehead, put it to you, you got to put your head down in order for you to get it. But you have to realize nothing is hidden from the divine mind. Y'all found me through Hyacinth. You might not have ever seen me before. Some of y'all is like been watching me for 2 or 3 years. Like, should I? It's about the feeling at this point, because if you ain't getting back into the tune, into the intuition, which only whispers. I got a homeboy, the Forex yogi, Derek Kelly. He goes through all his processes of entering into a trade and then stops and pulls out a pendulum and says, should I go in this trade? He says if his intuition tells him don't get in the trade, he may have been looking at this trade for 3 weeks. Right. He don't get in it. That's right. Your intuition, the inner.
When I had to get hit in the head a couple times, when my inner being was like, no, baby, get out or get in. And I'm trying to logically make sense. And I'm like, the whole head smashed off. I'm like, wait a minute. Wait, why are you ignoring this gift? Why you are tapped in? Why are you ignoring that? And so that's why I said to you not to explain the $1,100 and things like that. It's a feeling. The divine mind is going to tell you, I need to be in this or I don't need to be in this. Other than that, that's it. That's all we need. This is who we are aligning with. This is who we are connecting with. This is who we want a part of our family. We don't want you trying to, I got to sell you and all. If I got to sell you, go on where you got to go. You're not ready. Nothing personal, but you're not ready. Nothing is hitting the divine mind. If you actually tune in to the whisper and be led, your life will open up and change in ways that you could not even imagine. Then when you tap the astrology, the human design, the gene keys, all of that on top, you body your chart, you like, man, I don't care what y'all talking about. I know this is what the moon is doing. This is what this baby, you like, what? I hear y'all over there panicking and stuff, but that's not my reality.
And astrology is circumstances. I ain't mean to cut you off, but like circumstances. We always looking at circumstances, but we're not looking at heavenly circumstances. These things influence us. The moon influences the tide, and every piece of food that you've put in your mouth since you've been on this earth breathing oxygen was activated and influenced by the cycles of the moon. And that's just one of the 13 planets that you need to be paying attention to. Where my challenge is at. Oh, well, then I'm not good at speculation, so I shouldn't even be trading. Walk away. Well, everybody's doing Forex, so I know I need to be doing it. Everyone's doing real estate in Atlanta. I need to be doing it. What's your purpose? What about your soul? What about when you get to the celestial court after you transition? You're not quite all the way where you want to go, and you have to be judged. And they're going to say, we'd like for you to defend 2 things. The choices that you made, and we'd like for you to defend some of the choices you didn't make. So you saw Oyi, or you saw Hyacinth. You had some extra capital. It felt good, but you vetoed it. Why? Ooh, the thing is, I'm gonna be at the bottom of that list for some of y'all. Some of y'all are gonna have to defend some other stuff that's a lot higher, that was a lot more important, that you chose not to do. You know what it is? When people don't come see me, I be like, that's okay. You didn't tell me no. You say yes to keeping your problem.
Yeah.
I don't got no problem with that either. If you like it, I love it, even if it's your problem.
You
But
took the words. I was gonna say you took the words out of my head, because I was gonna say I hope everyone realizes that if you're here, this is the answer to a prayer, an intention, or something that you said. You've been asking, how can I do better? How can I go to the next level? This is my goal. This is my intention. This is the answer. You wouldn't be here on a Tuesday night at 8:14 in the PM just to be here. You are here because this is the answer. It's the answer.
Right.
And I want to touch on, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I want to touch on my post. So the post that I posted, I think it was sometime last week. And, I'm usually quiet, but then when I know I have stuff coming up, I'm going to be out there fishing a little bit. So I posted the post about the gentleman who purchased the Mercedes-Benz for his wife when they really couldn't afford to do so. And I said it was his ego. And you came on the post and you said, Hyacinth, I think it was his mind and not his ego. Let's talk about this on the podcast. I love that when you explain the difference between the mind and the ego. And I definitely would love for you to explain it a little bit more from your perspective so that our listeners can.
Was this on Instagram or your Facebook?
Instagram. Well, it was on both, but I think you commented. You want me to read it to you?
Yes, please.
Okay.
I'm looking for it right now.
I got you. Sit tight. All right. So the post says, you want me to read the entire post? Yeah, I'll do it. A few years ago, a couple was sitting in my office. They were a handsome couple, well-dressed, well-groomed, and well-spoken. They were both career-driven. The wife had recently passed an exam that would further catapult her professional career. The husband spoke first. I'm going to buy my wife a new car. Oh, I silently thought as I waited for him to continue. My wife just passed her exam, and with her new position, she will need to look the part. I'm going to buy her a Mercedes. She deserves it. I continued to listen as I waited for him to explain why he thought it would be appropriate to rob his future self by adding an expense that he couldn't afford to carry. I waited. I waited for him to tell me how he was going to pay for this Mercedes when they were already over their heads in debt and monthly expenses. I waited. He talked. She listened. I listened. And then it became abundantly clear that this man's ego was writing a check that his present financial position didn't have the funds to cover. In life, there will never be a shortage of ways for you to spend your money. However, you can find yourself short on money. Every decision you make is either robbing or planning for your future self. The next best thing will always catch your eye, and your environment will continue to convince you that it's time for an upgrade. The reality is, if you're serious about financial freedom, you are going to have to take control over your life and stop letting your ego run the show. Whatever it is, you got to quiet your ego when you're focused on your financial goals. And so Oyi came through and said, y'all want to know what Oyi said? Let me tell you what Oyi said. You want to hear what Oyi said? This is what he said. Oyi said, can we talk about this on the podcast? I feel it was his mind, all caps, not his ego, that was coming in with this foolishness. His thoughts, which had been programmed, was why he was hell-bent on the bends. Ego backs up the mind, not leads. A few more questions would have pulled out the pattern for his thinking, that came from some childhood trauma about being accepted in the church telling him this is what providing looks like. His wife was probably in on the programming too at some point. This is a classic trauma bond, in my opinion. And so I didn't respond because, I'm not going to go back and forth with you. Like, I'm not going to do that. But in person, I did go through that process and uncover the trauma and things like that. But I want you to bring that here and talk about the ego and the mind, because you said it was the mind that was running the show. And I love the way that when you explain that, because we use ego, and I use it as a term because it's a triggering term. When you tell people you're an ego, they and so I want to hear you break that down. The floor is yours.
What's the black dude who studied he did the first open heart surgery, Burlington, North Carolina, black dude. I can't think of his name. Somebody on here knows. I'm a historian. I apologize. But he was the first person to do an open heart surgery. But they don't do open heart surgeries the same way that he did it in the whatever 1800s or 1900s. Okay. So I think they said he died because the white hospital wouldn't let him in, even though he was a black man who discovered he did the first open heart surgery. But they've improved upon open heart surgeries tremendously since they first did it. So when we get these words in and we use the words like ego, we really don't do any research to be like, how does the ego work? Because we didn't know money was a sophisticated woman. But we know that anytime something goes wrong, there's two people you can blame, or two things: the devil, which you can't find, and ego, which you can't describe. So in in human design, which is a relatively new system, it shows that in the population of the planet Earth, only 20% of human beings have egos in the first place. Now, me as somebody who's into psychedelics and entheogens, I hear this word ego death all the time, and I ask a simple question. If there's no ego, how can there be an ego death? Cricket, cricket, cricket. So then why do people keep using the words? You have to upgrade your terminology. Like, I thought one thing about mushrooms, I thought one thing about trading, I thought one thing about crypto. Then when I got me a qualified teacher, it ain't the ego. The ego helps get you home at night, if you even have one. Most of the time, you're borrowing somebody else's ego. So if only 20% have an ego, that means 80% don't. You're borrowing from someone else. Now, what about this phrase called throw a rock and hide your hand? Y'all know what that means? You know how you ever walked up on somebody, you be on this side, and then you just come out and tap the other shoulder, and then they'll look that way, and you was over there? That's what the mind does. The mind gets you in very effed up positions and then blames the ego. Blame the ego, blame the ego. Then you say it out your mouth. What did I say earlier? Everything that come out the mouth was in the mind first. So anything crazy, you know what I'm saying? That's coming out the mind. When you tell the judge, I want to represent myself, that ain't your ego. Your mind came up with that decision. The mind doesn't, ego doesn't think. The mind does. Ego doesn't process. The mind does. So what needs to be killed is the mind. It's over celebrated. It's actually slow. It can't even keep up with all the processes that are happening in your bioform in your body. So the problem is he had a case of stinking thinking because he wanted to keep up with the Joneses. He had somewhere in his trauma, his mother or someone in his childhood told him, this is how you provide for a woman. And he thought that if his woman looked like something that she probably wasn't, it would make other people think something different about him that he's probably not.
Absolutely.
That's not ego. That's a mental dysfunction, really, because we don't have a ego health problem in the United States. We have a mental health problem in the United States. And so the mind is so sinister, it never wants that no accountability. Zero. I don't want to see the trauma. I don't want to see it was my fault. How do I know? Go ask Kevin Samuels. When you get a woman 200 pounds, 5'3", talking about she want a 7-figure earner and she don't want no competition and he can't talk to nobody else. Did you look in the mirror, really? And then you said you was an 8 like Rihanna? Stop that. You know, that's her mind. That's not her ego. That's not her ego. Kevin Samuels is not, his ego wasn't telling her you look like a linebacker. His mind was making an analysis. That's all there is to it. The mind done got us into so much stuff. And then he says, where did he get this thing about being romantic? See, his wife put that in there too. Because he said something about getting her a Mercedes before they got in front of you. And guess what she did? She said, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
She said, I think I need one too. Yeah. Or she just said that to herself, or he planted something in her head, some more trauma, and then called it intelligence, and then she ran with it too. Because he's thinking, if she's not in the Mercedes, I'm not a good man. But maybe she could have been looking at him one time on some alcohol saying, you punk ass, I'm the one holding the family down. I'm going to school. I'm going to be making, we don't know. But the mind will come up, especially when he got pressed. When he got pressed, his ego didn't respond. His mind started responding with more foolishness. Why, sir, why are you about to get a car that you can't afford, that you actually don't need when you got a car that's already paid for? She just got another degree or certification. She ain't got another $100,000 or $200,000 per month rolling in. This ain't gonna be no cash purchase. This ain't gonna be no tax write-off. She's not even in the business that, like, how can we even put this Mercedes in the business? She don't even got no website yet. This is the mind. And when you can separate the mind from ego and start putting the real accountability and blame on the guilty mother sucker, is this right here. Everybody should be tapping their head right now, because this thing here is what gets you in trouble.
Now you see why Oyi told y'all to meditate. He started this thing off. He said, meditate.
Because if you don't, this thing will become a savage beast. It will not be trained. It will think anything and become justified, and will go get all the data to give you inner disharmony, inner non-magic, inner disgust, inner beat yourself up. How many of y'all know about the inner game, that the opposite way? That's not magic, but it is magic because you're still creating it. You're creating all this stress. You're creating all these dependencies. You're creating all these lies. They're not true. When I was in Jamaica, this initiation I just had one, and I was listening to one of my sisters, and I looked at her and I was like, Queen, let me tell you this. Most of everything I've been thinking about myself for over 50 years has been a lie. Until you can say that, that's how you make your mind shut the F up. Because most of what you think about yourself is a lie. And I'm a master astrologer. I'm a mean boy. And I was like, daggone, you still been lying? So when I looked at her, I was just like, you just my reflection. Most of what you thinking about yourself, because she was talking about suicide or stuff like that. And I was just like, that's because of your mind is projecting these things across your stuff that don't even have nothing to do with you. That's not the real you. That's not who you really are. And that's why I encourage people to combine astrology with all the other things that you're doing. It don't matter what car you're riding, but you do need insurance. It doesn't matter what car you're driving, you do need air pressure in the tires. It doesn't matter what car you're driving, you need good windshield wiper blades. It doesn't matter what car you're driving, you need good brakes. That's what astrology is on the car. Okay? It helps keep you alive and not dented up. You don't want the car all scuffed up, do you? When you start learning your chart, now all of a sudden you have less scuffs on your car. Some of y'all's car is so terrible, you have to park it a block before you get where you're going and walk. Or you might catch an Uber the last block. Now I'm talking very figuratively, but you know what I'm saying. You're embarrassed about it. And that's what he was. He was embarrassed about something. Why he isn't secure in his relationship with his woman? You know, because he got this false notion around money. Now, how long is the Mercedes gonna last? Not long, because he's taking the sophisticated woman and is saying, instead of saying, let's go flip us and triple us and quadruple us or do something, no, let's just go flush it down the drain and get a commodity that loses value as soon as I put the key in it.
Let's continue sinking this ship. 1,000%. Let's continue sinking this ship. Any questions? I want to open it up. You want to take some questions?
Please, pretty please.
Okay, we'll take a few. We'll take a few questions. So if you have any questions, let's drop them in the comment section, and we will do our best to answer them. We may do maybe.
Also, yes, if they want to, because somebody was just like, ma'am, all these gems for free 99. No, you do have to pay tonight, and I would like for you to pay with your phone number and your email address. So send me a message on Work with Oyi right there, and there's a little chat box on there, and just send me a message and be like, this is what I thought of the program. This was the number one thing that helped me. Or you can be like, oh, you a chump. You know what I'm saying? But don't do that, because then I'm going to just tell Hyacinth, and then it ain't going to be good. But I ain't worried about y'all saying that, no way, that's a joke. So send me a message. That's also how you're going to be on my email when I send out this 60% campaign that will not be public. When you see the 50% off, know that you already missed 10 because I only send it to people who mess with me. You mess with me, I mess with you. And I want to be known as the cash cow. So you could definitely just send me a message and be like, what's up, cash cow? It was a good class tonight. And then give me that joint.
I don't see any questions coming in.
Oh, because they must know everything already.
Okay. Well,
Now I'm just joking. They just a little nervous, you know. I'm a Leo and Leo rising. Who will be my money people to do business with? See somebody trying to get to the money. Somebody trying to get to the money. One of your peoples is the sign after Leo. So now I'm gonna ask you a question. What sign comes after Leo? That's your money, folks, that you should be writing for. The question is now, because you need to have a follow-up question too. How do you talk to them? That's one thing we do in Inner Magic. I show you how to talk to your money customer. I'm a master astrologer, but I'm nasty in this business thing too. Mine's very unique, and I'm always way in front of somebody. So I don't have no competition for you to go compare it with, because other astrologers don't care about business, and business people don't care about astrology. So I'm the first to be where I'm at. I'm also the first astrologer to get paid in Bitcoin on the blockchain. So I do take cryptocurrency. Do not get it twisted. Virgo. So after Leo is Virgo. So how do you talk to the Virgo to get them to open up their wallet and start spending with you, right? Don't worry about why right now. Well, why are they spending money with me? That's come to class. Or you can look on my YouTube. I got a free video about that whole thing, like where's your money at? But you need to understand that what do Virgos want to hear? Leo, Virgos want to know about, I can give you a plan to do this. I can help you be of better service for this. I can make your business healthier. I can make your squats healthier. I can help you with being perfect. That's what you can promise, Leo, because you can deliver it. You've been doing it all of your life. All of your life, Leos, you've been having this whole Virgo attitude towards money. You have this plan. You always, and when you meet a Virgo, they either want to give you money or you're giving them money or y'all circulating money together. So we have to start looking at, it's going to depend on what your business is. So if you massage, you're going to be talking to the advantages of a Virgo getting a massage from you using keywords from Virgos. And here's the crazy part. All of my students can help you do this. I wouldn't even pull over. This ain't even... Hyacinth can do this if you would listen. She knows this is, y'all should be bombarding her. So this is not hard. This is really, really basic. So yes, the money sign, one of the money signs of Leo is Virgo. I'm not going to go into your Leo rising because it's an 85% chance your rising sign is wrong. So for those of you who are really dope into astrology and you like it, if your chart has never been rectified, you have an 85% chance of your birth time being wrong, which means you could be using the wrong rising sign, which means your predictive astrology is all the way off. Because now you only got 2/3 of the correct information. Okay. So I could get into all that, but I'm not. I'm gonna move
chart
on.
rectification, yes.
Chart rectification, yes, I do that too. Any money advice for upcoming new moon in Sagittarius? Yes. You should have had your stuff together 14 days ago. So, because ain't nothing I can tell you for it tomorrow. Leslie brings up a great point. Oh my God. When we talked about the woman wanting to get pregnant, but they weren't thinking ahead. Why do you go see Hyacinth? Because you're thinking ahead.
Plan.
Hyacinth ain't finna make you no money tomorrow, but she gonna triple down, quadruple down, and maybe some other stuff over the next 10, 15, 20 years that you're not even paying attention to. So when you're talking about moon cycles and they move so fast, you didn't do the prep work. Let me say this about the new moon. The new moon is a lie. These white folks or whoever these professors are who made the almanac, the new moon is not when you start a new project. Everybody type that in the chat now. A new moon is the third phase, not the beginning. The new moon is the third phase, not the beginning. The new moon is not the third is the third phase, not the beginning. It's not the time to start no projects. You're a week late. Whoever told you, yes, they're a dummy. Okay, they're just repeating and parroting something that they cannot prove. When we do moon magic, we start 7 days before. So now here comes the new moon, and somebody talking about what can we do tomorrow. I don't know what you're gonna do because you supposed to been everybody on my team was been getting ready since last week. Now, where are you? Have you been whining and complaining? Have you been doing low level vibrational stuff? Then it's just gonna amplify. It's gonna amplify 15 days from now. I can tell you that. So what can I do about new moon and Sagittarius? I would need to know where the new moon is at in your chart, for one. Then I would have to know what other things you might have in Sagittarius. Are you a Gemini? What do you have in Gemini? What are your goals? What direction are you going? Like, what are you trying to achieve? Like, it's so many things. But the new moon, replace it with the word clearing. Clearing or dumping moon. I need to go dump. Okay? Dump some stuff. Realize this is the time of month, no matter what the sign is, the new moon is the time to cry, be depressed, take losses, cut things off, banishing rituals, stuff like that. Fasting, that's what it's for. It doesn't even matter about getting into the sign and stuff like that. But you should have been getting ready. If you're waiting until for me to tell you what to do with a new moon that's coming up tomorrow, you're already done. You might as well wait till next month. Because you're not gonna catch it. But you'll feel like you know what I'm saying, you and your homegirls and everybody on Instagram and your homeboys like, yeah, I'm setting my intentions today, that. You gave me and Hyacin a 7-day head start in a 28-day race. Now I told you on the 365-day race, you give me 100 days head start. You'll never see me, dog. You'll never see me. So to give me a 7-day head start, you can give me 1 week head start, like you can't even move, and I already took off. Your timing. This is where, like, I got this other graph. I posted the video here, but if you're a coach, I made a video for my coaches when I was in Austin. Send me a message and say, send me that coaching video. I do have a video for you. That's for real, that you can watch in your own time about the thing about right thing and right time. You might have the right thing. You might even be the right person, but it's the wrong time. And she shut down. She can't get pregnant during the new moon. It was the 4 days before the new moon when she could get pregnant, when the moon was ovulating. And when you catch that moon ovulating, you need to go all the way up in it. You need to go all the way up in it. You can't just be playing with it. You got to get it pregnant, because guess what? After them 4 days is gone, you got to wait another 24 days before that window comes open, just like a woman. Knowing cycles, man. Ooh, I could just go.
Good. I love the question though, because I know that a lot of people are misinformed when it comes to new moon, full moon. They're following what they hear and things like that. So I love that question. This is another reason why you need to hit workwithoyi.com so that you can join Inner Magic Academy, where your whole entire mind will be blown, your life will be changed, and then you can too be ahead of the race.
I also want to talk to Demetri. Demetri says, starting a new job opportunity, definitely need a master teacher astrology, elevate my finances. I would like to talk about, just really quick, who I don't coach. Okay. If you don't like talking about getting paid, don't come see me. If it irritates you about a black man talking about getting some money and getting rich, don't come see me, because I'm going to talk about some money. Okay. I'm going to talk about how to get some money. I'm going to break your business down. I ain't going to try to break you down. You may start to cry, but I'm going to get you back up, because I want the business to make some money. If you want to come learn from me so you can charge lower prices and do a bunch of discounts, I'm not the guy for you. Okay? Go on somewhere with that. All right? So if you bought your paper and you talking about inner magic and spirituality, I am your guy. Then someone said, I never did an astrology overview for myself. What are the key details will I need before booking? Just the money. babe, I just leave it up to me. I'll handle it. I'll handle it. All you need to do is come in with plenty of paper. You're gonna need a blue, black, red, and green pen, and anything from 10 to 20 pages. And I don't know how. Did I leave anything else? How does
No,
she need to prep for a reading? I don't
no.
know.
I told y'all I started this. I said he's an expander. He's an expander. So when you are in the energy of someone, a being who is an expander, we ain't got time for logic. We ain't got time for asking all these questions, this and this. He's vetted. He's an expander. That's it. That's it. I want to go back to this comment. How do I focus more during meditation with a mind that always wonders? Thank you so much for that question. I know that a lot of people have that question and concern. How do I focus more in meditation with the mind that always wonders?
The same way you want to lose some weight, if you go to the gym, you get a trainer. Because at this point, trying to meditate by yourself is going to be very, very difficult.
Are
It's
your
gonna
meditation videos oh, that's a
free,
part of it.
free. They were free for like years and years and years and years, but they are a part. The meditation video is the number one video once you come into Inner Magic. It's number one. There's the meditation video. Then there's how to write out your goals and your rituals, because we do rituals and goals, they're the same thing. And then here's your candle magic, and then there's moon magic, then there's prosperity 365, and then there's the astrology course. Okay, but at the top is with meditation. Can you quiet the mind? And how do you quiet the mind? Sometimes it's supposed to be rambling. Why are you arguing with the mind while it's rambling? How do you get it to switch over to what you want to do? So could I tell you now, like, first off, you're going to have to practice, and you have to realize what meditation is. Some people be like, oh, I go walk in the woods for meditation. I go to the club for meditation. I smoke for meditation. I have sex for meditation. No, meditation is listening and not speaking. And it's an art of listening without speaking. So you can't be moving around when you're meditating. Meditation is done in a seated position, maybe a standing position. Yoga is not meditation. They're not spelled the same. They don't have the same amount of words. If you're having problems meditating and you don't have a teacher, you really have a humility issue, because now you think you can do everything yourself. And Hyacinth, what did I say the number one disease is in America? I don't need no help. No, like, get a system and do one thing. In meditation, what you're really going to is the mind cooperating on a contemplation. And what are we contemplating during meditation? Your breath. So many of you don't even know how many seconds you inhale and how many seconds you exhale. So many of you don't even know whether you're a high chest breather or you're breathing down in the dantian. You're unaware of your breathing pattern. So when you sit down and try to meditate, it all comes up to the surface. And then what we were talking about earlier, she didn't ask him about how to quiet the ego. The ego is like, I'm ready to meditate. The heart is like, I'm ready to meditate. The shoulders like, I'm ready to meditate. Your ass is like, I'm ready to meditate. And here go your mind. He giving you all the evidence that he's the bad guy. Why she didn't ask the question and be like, how do I quiet my ego when I'm trying to meditate? She didn't say that. She's like, this mind of mine. So yes, please take your TVs out of your bedroom, or at least turn them off hours before you go to sleep, unless you have something like programmed on there, a video that's watching. You could go to Mind Movies and make a mind movie and watch that before you go to sleep, or you could join Jen the Rainmaker, the Dream U University, or some other stuff like that. That's another thing we do at Inner Magic. It's a network. It's a community. My network is crazy. My spider web touches everything. If I can't get it for you, you probably don't need it, and it might not be good for you. But if I can find it, it's really good. As Hyacinth said, it's been vetted. Or it's been thoroughly. Like, if you see me do this, that means I vetted these. Like, this is where I'm heading next. And I ain't, oh, you're in there playing games? No, this is my new ATM machine. I'm about to start doing readings and consultations and mind mapping with these right here. If you have a set of these, please send me that. Tell me you got a VR. I might do something with you just because you got some VR, because I can't find nobody that's got VRs and really want to get some money. Because I'm doing all of my stuff over there now. It's just like, woo. So
One more question, and
yes.
then I gotta go make me some food. Let's see. Inner magic is the foundation. Yes, it surely is, and you get so much there. Inner magic. I have. Could meditation help insomnia?
Yes, honesty could help insomnia too. What is it that you ain't being honest about?
And she already know, Tiff. You already know. So yep.
Oh, I ain't mean to call nobody out, but
She know you just confirming what we talked about. Yeah.
I'm part psychic too, but I'm scared to put that on my website. I don't know how people will react on that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, and so one other thing I wanted to add is, well, when Oyi said that he connects people, and then he mentioned that his students can do what you want him to do. Oyi is one of those coaches where sometimes you'll run into coaches where they only want to be the expert. They don't want you to get no business. They want this guruism. They want to be the guru. They only want, he is going to encourage, why aren't you doing this? Why you should be doing this? He's going to encourage you, support you, and all this other stuff. So when you connect with Oyi, it's not just about you taking the Inner Magic course, that you actually are becoming a part of our community. And if you're looking to expand, then it's best for you to connect with an expander and an expansive community. Last question. I'm a Sag with a Sag rising. Cap is one of my money people. How can I get them on my money train? Besides professionalism and consistency, what am I missing? We got to look at your whole chart. We got to look at your human design. We got to see all this other stuff, but come to Inner Magic. But I'm going to let you go ahead, Oyi.
Lonnie, are you missing me? You don't come to class on Wednesdays and ask these questions. You know what I'm saying? You don't post these questions in the Facebook group. You missing me. That's all. Like, this is so, like I said so many times, like I just wish I had a recorder so I could just be like, let me just say the same thing again. First off, we combine astrology with copywriting. So if you think I'm bluffing, go type in, y'all go search April Beverly with a Y, Apryl. I just threw you a huge bone. You go research April Beverly. April Beverly is, she wrote Shots Fired. So you're going to, after you learn what the keywords are for a Capricorn, which you could just type into the internet, just be like Capricorn keywords, astrology. They're going to give you all these keywords. Oh, there it is. Oh my God. Oh, heater. That's straight money, right? You know, and really you ain't got to read the whole book. You can stop at page 22. 17, she gives you the juice, and by 22, you'll understand. If you're a real live astrologer, you go read 22 pages in that, and me and Hyacinth will give you your money back if you don't like that book. And ain't nobody ever came and asked about no money back from that one. So what's the key words for Capricorn? And then how do you write to them? It also, like when you said, get them on your money train. I don't know what your business is. So you left that out in the question. So I'm not going to tell you to say something. But for me, it's just some kind of way this gift and curse is very easy for me to hear. So like I could do Hyacinth, you know what I'm saying, and say, and hers is very easy. Would you like me to do yours? Would you like me to give you some copy for your client? So your rising is what?
Capricorn.
Yeah, so she's talking to Aquariuses, and she's talking to like ready to have some fun. You want to do something different? These are just headlines for emails that people are going, that Aquariuses are going to open up. My network is for you. Let me put some more money in your network. Let me show you how to get some money out of your network. I have a surprise for you. Do you like surprise money? Do you like surprise holiday money? Oh, come see me, and I'll show you where the money is hidden at. Because Aquarius is like to find things. They like surprises. So anything around that, and then I put money in it because she's in the financial sector. So it's okay for her to talk about money. You know what I'm saying? And let's also stop criticizing people who not in the financial sector who want to talk about money. Yes, Hyacinth can talk about it, but other people can talk about money too. Stop shaming people around your money. That's another thing I found in Inner Magic. I found out where my shame was at in my inner child. And a lot of y'all, even my man, the Forex Yogi, he was like, if you do not straighten out your inner child first, your trading will reflect it. Your trading will reflect your inner child. You want to find your inner child and spend a whole lot of money, just start trading. But if you want to find them and spend a little less money, come see me. Then we can find them, deal with them, create a strategy. Then you go over there and start trading. Hyacinth, to tell you the truth, I really would just really love to coach traders. I just really would like to help them because they don't understand. They understand mindset, but they be making so much money and be making it so fast, you can't tell them nothing. I just be like, okay, dog, you know what I'm saying? But most traders have raggedy relationships. Raggedy. Because now when they get upset at their partner, they just pour their energy back into trading. But now when you finish trading, you don't have nobody that you can talk to because you don't know how to communicate and say, this is what I want in a relationship.
Poor emotional intelligence.
And you ain't got no emotional intelligence. You ain't got no financial maturity. You ain't got no financial intelligence. You got all these things that you're missing the point. So learn writing copy. I don't know, man. I just think we got the illest business design, the whole situation. I've been wanting to build this app since 2016 where it's called the Unfair Advantage, where it just culminates and now you can just have it on your phone and be like, these are the colors you wear tomorrow. What? There's a certain color I could wear on it. Like when I came on, everybody was looking at this peach. They was looking at this mauve or whatever. But today is Tuesday, right? Today is my red day. So I put on a variant of red. And immediately I started getting attention, right? And it makes me feel good today with this type of attention. You know, tomorrow I'll be going to the best ideal color for me every day. You know, Steve Jobs only wore black t-shirts. Mark Zuckerberg only wears white t-shirts because it takes a decision out of your thing to do today. I don't need to decide what color shirt. It's already laid out. So they was only using one color. There's a color for every day of the week for you, depending on what day of the week you were born. That's another thing about the new year too. You have 2 new years, the day you were born and September 22nd. So all of us, September 22nd is the new year. I was born May 17th. That's my other new year. If you weren't born December 31st, January 1st, January 2nd, that whole phenomenon has nothing to do with you. Has nothing to do with you. Nothing. And the sooner you get into knowing your personal cycles, now we go back to the finances again. Because now you're becoming sophisticated. Now you can deal with money in a sophisticated way, and you can start getting sophisticated results. Cha-ching.
Absolutely. I think we gave him a lot, Coach. We gave him a whole lot. Somebody said
we were still warming up. I thought we were still warming up. I thought we were still in the game. I'm just playing. I'm
like, I gotta eat. I had to go stand in front of the refrigerator and be like, what's gonna come out? Someone says, hopefully we can replay this live. So the intention is to save it. So make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, Hyacinth Henderson. Make sure you subscribe, and then you can also watch the live again there.
And if you want that coaching video, somebody posted, you have to go to Work with Oyi, hit the chat button and send me a message. Yes. That's also a business strategy I'm giving you, how you can discern people who really want to work with you. And also, if your website does not have one of those chat boxes that comes directly to your telephone, you leaving money on the table.
Expander. I told you, he an expander, y'all. He an expander. So thank you so much. I appreciate you. Everybody, be sure to show your gratitude. The only payment Oyi asked for today is for you to go to his website.
I do take Venmo. If you want to drop me something, just ask in the same place I give it to you. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so ask when they go to your website.
Yeah. Just in the chat, be like, how do you know what I'm saying? You want to give me a little, you want to break me a little something off, you know what I'm saying?
Let it circulate. We talked about letting it circulate.
Also, money angels. Money angels. Money angels is always watching you too. They looking and being like, oh, you really appreciated him, but you didn't give him nothing. Okay, we can do that to you later on down the line.
Oh yeah, angel talk. I love it.
They can do that to you, baby.
Yeah. So, all right, y'all. Thank you so much for being here. We know that you enjoyed it. I was gonna say, we know you enjoyed it. And peace.
Peace.
That's it.
We ain't hit stop yet. Yay, I love bloopers.